This video contains spoilers. Things are really starting to come to a head in Yellowstone, so it's high time for the Yellowstone Midseason Finale recap. Also, what did that ending even mean? Season 5 Part 1, the finale, ended explained. After that, we're digging into what Wednesday Enid Star did to prepare for Season 6. What is the big story change involving a fan-favorite character in The Last of Us? And more. Make sure to stick around so you don't miss out. So let's get started with the Yellowstone Midseason Finale recap. Even though Season 5 suffered the occasional structural lumpiness and more than a few eye-roll-worthy moments, anticipation for the continuation of Yellowstone is already rising high for when the series returns this summer. The low point in A Knife and No Coin is definitely the extended scene in which we check in with Jimmy at the Four Sixes, which felt a bit random, unless there are things to come that will give this scene more meaning by intertwining the storyline with Travis and Rip's crew in Texas. The scene feels almost redundant. The episode also follows up on last week, with half of the ranch hands heading out to move the herd to Texas, and there's a sweetness to the goodbye scenes, especially between Colby and Teeter. Their relationship has been defined by Teeter's intense, aggressive displays of affection and horniness, but spending so much time together has helped them develop something real, and the payoff of the growth here is great. The mid-season finale has also given us some great scenes between John and his daughter-in-law, who possibly shared the most interesting relationship in the series. John's suggestion opens up the possibility for Monica and Case to move forward without having to make sacrifices. But the main focus of the episode was by far the escalation of the war between Jamie and the rest of the family. Everything seems to already come to a head, and did Beth really not know about the train station? If she didn't, she does now, and already has an idea of how it could be of use to her. But Beth isn't the only one who has murder on her mind. Now is she? Next up, Yellowstone Season 5 Part 1 Finale Ending Explained. With the first half of the 5th season of Yellowstone having wrapped up, we now have plenty of time to ponder all the implications of the mid-season finale. A Knife and No Coin has seen the Dutton family finally entering into open war with each other, leaving us in doubt whether Jamie could actually remove his father from office. Whether he can or not, the main development of the episode revolved around Jamie's decision to move forward with his plans to remove his father from the governor's office. And when John and Beth find out what he's done, Beth accurately describes it as a declaration of war, leading to a violent confrontation between Beth and Jamie, where each is threatening the other. Beth may be able to threaten Jamie with the murder of Garrett, but Jamie knows how many bodies John has disposed of over the years as the patriarch of the Dutton family. The loudest message coming from the mid-season finale is the fact that neither Jamie nor Beth is planning on a legal war only, but are both looking to do whatever it might take to get the other out of the way. Jamie has already asked Sarah whether she maybe knows anyone who can take Beth out in a more permanent fashion. In an opening flashback, we see how Rip became a part of the Dutton clan, which hints at where this is all leading to. Instead of ending on a big moment, the series suddenly pulls back to a final scene between Monica and Casey. That is to say, once you're a part of the family, you'll always be a part of the family, even if you declare war. And now, Wednesday Enid actor went to real-life werewolf camp to prepare. Emma Myers, the actor who plays Enid on Wednesday, went to an actual werewolf camp to prepare for the role alongside her on-screen werewolf brothers and to get into character for episode 6. Wednesday is the first The Addams Family adaptation that centers around Wednesday and sees its titular character, who is portrayed by Jenna Ortega, separated from her family as she goes off to boarding school. Wednesday has quickly become a global phenomenon and currently holds the 3rd place in Netflix's most watched shows, only behind Stranger Things and Squid Game. During an appearance on The Tonight Show, Myers revealed that she underwent an actual werewolf boot camp to portray Enid. This was in order to get into the werewolf spirit alongside her on-screen werewolf brothers. "I've never done so much parkour in my life, running on the floors on all fours, leaping over things," Myers explained. Enid, Myers' character, is a late bloomer who, at the beginning of the series, has yet to undergo a full werewolf transformation, and werewolf summer camp functions as a means for young werewolves like her there to finally wolf out. However, at the end of the season, Enid comes to Wednesday's rescue and is finally able to make the transformation for the first time. But as it's not exactly a natural thing to behave like a werewolf, Myers was given a nice warm-up and it paid off. Though there has been no official announcement about a second season for the series, all signs are pointing towards that end. What did you think of Myers' big moment? Before we go, do you know what the big story change in involving a fan-favorite character in The Last of Us adaptation? Would Josh Radnor want to make a return in How I Met Your Father? And Hugh Dancy isn't surprised that Hannibal Season 4 hasn't happened yet. Keep watching until the end of the video to find out why. Now let's get into it. What's the biggest story change involving a fan-favorite character in The Last of Us? From the very beginning, we were promised by the creators of the adaptation of The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, a faithful adaptation to the source material. And from what we've seen so far, we can honestly say that the attention to detail is certainly there. But as you may remember, we were also promised that the series would expand upon its source material. And now news has broken about how HBO has made one big change involving one of the original video game's fan-favorite characters. New details reveal that Episode 3 will focus on Nick Offerman's Bill, a survivalist from a game who uses a deserted town as his sanctuary, and the change that was made to Bill's story is said to be a racial one and could potentially shock longtime fans. While it's unknown what exactly has been changed to Bill's story, we do know that the show has cast Murray Bartlett as Frank. Frank is a former partner of Bill and a romantic interest, and his casting could indicate that the narrative changes that have been made involve their relationship. In the original game, players were given only hints of Bill and Frank's past, with very brief snippets of dialogue and a suicide note left by Frank explaining his reason to leave, but the series may actually be able to shine some light on what happened between them before Joel and Ellie cross paths with Bill. Luckily, with The Last of Us premiering on the 15th of January, we won't have to wait too long to find out what they did with Bill's arc. Following, Josh Radnor responds to the possibility to return to How I Met Your Father. How I Met Your Father, a spin-off of How I Met Your Mother, ended its first season with a surprise appearance from Kobe Smulders. Smulders reprised her role as Robin Scherbatsky and shared a moment with the lead of How I Met Your Father, Hilary Duff. Smulders' appearance in the spin-off has given fans of the original show something more exciting than a few cheeky references and cameos from supporting characters. While those are also enjoyable, having someone from the main cast of your favorite show make an appearance in a spin-off is just a whole different story. And now Smulders has found her way into How I Met Your Father. Fans are wondering whether this means the door has officially been opened for other main characters of How I Met Your Mother as well. Josh Radnor, who played Ted Mosby in the original series, talked about whether he would be open to making a cameo in How I Met Your Father while discussing his role in the upcoming Season 2 of Hunters with Newsweek. Radnor revealed that he's actually been exchanging emails with Duff about the possibility of making an appearance, adding that they had talked about how they are both the I in How I Met. According to Radnor, Duff would love to have him on How I Met Your Father, and he wouldn't turn down an invitation if he were to be given one. So all there's left to do is make it happen. Who knows? Maybe they've already made it work. We'll have to wait to see when How I Met Your Father comes back to Hulu with Season 2 on the 24th of January 2023. And lastly, why Hugh Dancy isn't surprised Season 4 of Hannibal hasn't happened yet. Hannibal is one of those shows that is truly one of a kind. Even though it's based on one of the most infamous fictional serial killers, Hannibal Lecter, who became a sensation with the release of Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal sees Hannibal, portrayed by Mads Mikkelsen, as an active criminal working to manipulate Will Graham, portrayed by Hugh Dancy, a criminal profiler who has a special talent for interpreting the designs of serial killers. Hannibal may seem like a horrendously graphic show, but any fan knows that the true story of Hannibal lies in the relationship between Hannibal and Will and has a whole lot more depth than your average serial killer series. This deep psychological undercurrent is exactly what makes Hannibal such a visceral show to watch, and there have been many calls for a Season 4 throughout the years, and fans haven't given up hope yet. But Dancy isn't convinced that it's ever going to happen. In fact, Dancy thinks it's really unlikely that Hannibal will ever see another season. At first, it looks like streamers would be a savior, but there has been a cutoff from there as well. And while the show has a massive success, as Dancy explained, there is no longer a guarantee that a show will survive, let alone be given another shot. Well, Twin Peaks came back after 25 years as well, so maybe we just need to be patient. Well, that's it for now. So what do you think of the mid-season finale of Yellowstone? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.